Hey there, welcome to my studio, Real Recording One. We're going to take a look at my Toto setup, my current Toto setup, and talk about some of the misadventures of Backline gear. We're headed to Mexico and South America, and it's going to be an adventure, so we'll talk a little bit about what to be heads up on. And yeah, what is this here? Exactly, and we'll get to that on another episode. But let's get over to the kit. Let's take a look at the setup. What I've got is my Masters maple gum. This setup is basically identical to what I have on the road. Only difference is the bass drum. Right now I've got a 22 in here instead of a 24, which you can hear in these recordings. The 22 sounds huge. So, all right, so the rundown, we got 8 by 12, 9 by 13, 10 by 14, 16 by 16, 16 by 18 toms, Pearl Masters maple gum, 14 by 22 bass drum here, but out on the road it's a 14 by 24. That's just something I've been doing, works well with our front of house and the way we're set up out there. So I have a whole other way I like to set up my 24-inch bass drum for more of a, it's not quite Bonham, but it's somewhere in that world, you know. We'll dig into another time, but yeah. The snare drum I've been playing this last tour out is a 6.5 by 14 Pearl Reference 1 brass, which is a bell brass shell. It is so good. Check the other video I've got in the description going through these bell brass drums, or, you know, 3mm, right? Then I have a 5 by 10 snare here, and then out on the road I'm using a 6.5 by 14 Vector Cast. It's a aluminum snare drum, which is really cool. I have a 5 by 14 here that I've used a lot. Really unique drums. So that's that. The cymbals, I've got, you know, we've added a couple things into the set, and I haven't over the years used splash cymbals that much, but we have sort of this hybrid reggae-ish kind of thing where they fit nice. And then I use them in a couple of other spots now since I have them. But 6 and 8-inch Paiste signature splashes, a 10-inch Paiste reflector, and then here in this kit setup here, the cymbals are slightly different. Here I've got 20, 18, 19-inch Modern Essential crashes. I have a 22-inch Modern Essential China. My favorite ride cymbal that I've got, and I've got a lot that I love, but this one is a Dark Crisp Masters 22 ride, and it just, I can go in between sort of jazz-esque playing and rock and still have a bell. I mean, it's really a fantastic cymbal, so you should check that one out. Let's see. And then Modern Essential 15-inch Paiste hats. Here what I have is just a straight 602 medium top, which is a little thinner, and I like this combination. On the road, my crashes are, they would be a 19-inch big beat here, 21-inch big beat here, and a 20-inch there. So that's a look at the kit. A quick note for you guys, check out, I have released a couple of templates for home recording, recording in basically less than ideal circumstances. I get the whole sound with a basic mic pre's from an interface straight through, and then I have a Logic template and a Pro Tools template. And if you load those up, there's samples, or there's, you know, some recording of my drums in there that you can match your level to, make sure everything's in phase, and then boom, you've got my my setup in it. And it's you check the videos also for those, give you a rundown, you get an idea of how effective that setup is. So yeah, check that out, and let's get back to it. Now let's talk about navigating, playing, you know, in less than optimal circumstances, because I'm about to head down to South America and Mexico, which are great places to be, but when you're dealing with Backline, you're subject to availability. So it's the same kind of thing, I would say, to be, you know, cautious or proactive about when you're playing a gig and you're going somewhere on a house kit or you're playing on a festival. Same kind of thing. I'm taking two things with me for sure that have bitten me in the ass, and probably all of us many times. One that's a little less obvious maybe. I'm taking a hi-hat clutch, all right? Last year when we were down there, we had one go bad mid-show, and we didn't have a backup. You know, we didn't have our gear. And I do like playing on backline gear and stuff. A lot of times if I sit in on somebody's drums, I won't even move the setup at all. I like to sort of be forced to play, you know, not have the ideal circumstance. So when we get down there, most likely I'm going to have like 2 up and 2 down, which is going to cause me to revoice some of the fills that I like to play on the fly, which I like. I like that sort of in the moment. It keeps something fresh. You know, I keep thinking I'm going to change my setup a little bit going out and do something, you know, really different, you know, maybe 1 up and 2 down, which is, you know, everybody does that. But, you know, the musical bandwidth has a lot to play in that choice. And in a 2-hour set with Toto, the music ranges, and that's what I love about playing with the band. It's what I love about the band, is the musical diversity. So if I simplified my setup too much, I would lose voices that some songs I feel like compositionally require. So that's why I stick with this 5-tom setup. There is another video where I've run down this kit in particular and tuning it different ways. You can check out if you didn't see that one. This is the set of drums that I played on the 40th anniversary DVD for Toto. So there's that. My head choices on the kit are all coated ambassadors all the way around. It's a coated power stroke on the bass drum. But back to you know, the backline gear and sort of the survival mode of running into those situations. Bass drum pedal, hi-hat clutch. And then on these gigs coming up, I'm hopeful that it's much more important to me to have the heads that I like than it is the drums that I like if I'm in a one-off situation. Because if I have a better set of drums or something closer to what I'm looking for and the wrong heads, they're not going to respond. They're not going to play, you know, dynamically the way that I optimally want to be representing. So I want to have heads first and foremost. Last run through South America, just to put in perspective, there was a beautiful DW kit, like brand new. It was all we could get. I'm a Pearl guy, but sometimes that's how it goes. And it had pinstripes on it, you know, and it was like the bottom third of the dynamic range just didn't make a sound, you know, like so when I'm playing, they're just dead and dull and thumpy, and I didn't have them cranked and all that stuff. So then conversely, we got this Pearl kit that was old and a bit mismatched, but we had brand new clear ambassadors, and man, it sounded great and it was fun. So, you know, just a word to you guys if you're prepping for playing on some backline gear or whatever. Of course, a lot of us, we take our cymbals, a snare, all that stuff. If there's time, man, if you really want to be well represented, I would bring the heads and change them. I know it probably cuts into the gig pay, you know, that kind of thing. That's an incentive. And then sometimes, you know, if you're in a club, you can't really hear through the PA anyway. But we're talking about optimizing your voice. You know, if you want to dial in on what for me is the most important thing, it's going to be having the right heads first. And then safety check, a hi-hat clutch, take your bass drum pedal, and then from there, whatever else that you can manage. But that's how I go about it. I'm going to be sharing some videos with you guys from the road. We'll look at these kits. They'll probably be shorter. I might make a little, you know, sort of a montage of things pulled together while we're down there, see what's going on, new content. So yeah, stay posted. Thanks for checking this out. And we'll leave with a little more playing with my AI band. All right? See you next time.